the location at the junction of the Mediterranean, the Alps, the Dinarides and the Pannonian Plain, and the area being traversed by major rivers have been the reasons for the intersection of the main transport routes in Slovenia. Their course was established already in antiquity. A particular geographic advantage in recent times has been the location of the intersection of the pan-European transport corridors VNX in the country. This gives it a special position in the European social, economic and cultural integration and restructuring. Railways. The existing Slovenian rails, which were mostly built in the 19th century, are out of date and can't compete with the motorway network. The maintenance and modernization of the Slovenian railway network has been neglected due to the lack of financial assets, creating bottlenecks. Nevertheless, it has been gaining momentum with the completion of the motorway cross. The Slovenian Railways Company operates 1,229 kilometers of 1,435 mm standard gauge tracks, 331 kilometers as double track, and reaches all regions of the country. The network comprises main lines and regional lines. Electrification is provided by a 3 kV DC system, except at the junctions with railways of foreign countries, and covers 503.5 kilometers. Due to the out-of-date infrastructure, the share of the railway freight transport has been in decline in Slovenia despite growing slightly in absolute terms. The railway passenger transport has been recovering after a large drop in the 1990s. The pan-European railway corridors VNX and several e-railways intersect in Slovenia. All international transit trains in Slovenia drive through the Ljubljana railway hub, and all international passenger trains stop there. Roads. With the share of over 80%, the road freight and passenger transport constitutes the largest part of transport in Slovenia. Personal cars are much more popular than public road passenger transport, which has significantly declined. Motorways and expressways operated by the motorway company in the Republic of Slovenia are the state roads of the highest category. On motorways and expressways, cars must have a toll sticker. Slovenia has a very high motorway density compared to the European Union average. The first highway in Slovenia, the A1 motorway connecting Vrhnica and Postojna, was opened in 1972, but the construction was really speeded up in 1994, when the National Assembly enacted the first national motorway construction program. Till February 2012, a network consisting of 528 kilometers of motorways, expressways and similar roads has been built. Its essential section, the Slovenian motorway cross, which is part of the Trans-European road network, was completed in October 2011. It comprises the motorway route heading from east to west in line with the Pan-European Corridor V, and the motorway route heading in the north-south direction in line with the Pan-European Corridor X, part of which is considered the Slovenian transport backbone. The newly built road system slowly, but steadily transforms Slovenia into a large conurbation and connects it as a unitary social, economic and cultural space with links to neighboring areas. In contrast, other state roads, managed by the Slovenian Infrastructure Agency, have been rapidly deteriorating due to neglection and the overall increase in traffic. About half of them are in a bad condition. The urban and suburban network served by buses is relatively dense. Highways. The first highway in Slovenia, the A1, was opened in 1972. It connects Vrhnica and Postojna. Constructed under the liberal-minded government of Stankavsik, the development plan envisioned a modern highway network spanning Slovenia and connecting the Republic to Italy and Austria. After the liberal fraction of the Communist Party of Slovenia was deposed, expansion of the Slovenian highway network came to a halt. In the 1990s, the new country started the national program of highway construction, effectively reusing the old communist plans. Since then, about 400 kilometers of motorways, expressways and similar roads have been completed, easing automotive transport across the country and providing a strong road service between Eastern and Western Europe. This has provided a boost to the national economy, encouraging the development of transportation and export industries. There are two types of highways in Slovenia. Avtocesta dual carriageway motorways with a speed limit of 130 km per hour. They have green road signs as in Italy, Croatia and other countries. A heterocesta is a secondary road, also a dual carriageway but without a hard shoulder for emergencies. They have a speed limit of 110 km per hour and have blue road signs. Since the 1st of June 2008, highway users in Slovenia have been required to buy a toll sticker. This system was investigated by the EU Commission that it was unfair upon holiday makers and other non-Slovenian users of the highway system. On the 28th of January 2010, after short-term stickers were introduced by Slovenia and some other changes were made to the Slovenian toll sticker system, the European Commission concluded that the toll sticker system is in accordance with European law. According to the Slovenian Motorway Company Act, valid since December 2010, the construction and building of highways in Slovenia is carried out and financed by private companies, primarily the Motorway Company in the Republic of Slovenia, while the strategic planning and the acquisition of land for the course is carried out and financed by the government of Slovenia. The highways are owned by DAS. Bus transport. The beginnings of the bus transport in Slovenia date back to the early 20th century, when Slovenia was part of Austria-Hungary. The first two bus routes, between Gorizia and Postojna and between Idrija and Logotec, were opened in 1912, with additional 4 opened before World War I. The length of bus lines was 295 kilometers. The transport was primarily organized by the Post Directorate of Austria. After the war, the transport was organized by the Post Directorate of the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, gradually joined by private operators. The buses, primarily manufactured by Sora, Benz, and Daimler, were small and could accept 6 to 10 passengers. The total length of bus lines at the end of the mid-war period was 2,893 kilometers. After the end of World War II, the bus traffic drastically developed. In 1946, the State Ministry of Local Transport in the People's Republic of Slovenia established the National Bus and Transport Company of Slovenia. In 1948, the company was reorganized to another company named Slovenia Avtopromet with branches across the country, some of which were later transformed to independent local bus operators. The bus transport gradually replaced the railway transport and became the predominant means of public transport in the 1960s. The bus lines reached over 20,000 kilometers, with 26 million passengers altogether. Today, the bus traffic is the main means of public passenger transport in Slovenia, particularly in towns. The main bus stations are in Ljubljana, Maribor, Celje, and Kranj. The bus transport and the public transport in general have steeply declined in Slovenia in the 1990s, particularly in the western part of the country. They are used mainly by people who don't have other choice. Most people travel with their own car. Pipelines, crude oil 5 kilometers, natural gas 840 kilometers. Ports and harbors. There are 3 ports on the Slovenian coast. The traffic is mostly international. The major is the port of Koper, built in 1957. It is a feeder port. It is about 2,000 nautical miles closer to destinations east of the Suez than the ports of northern Europe, and the land transport from Koper by road and by railway to the main industrial centers in Central Europe is approximately 500 kilometers shorter than from northern European ports. It is multimodal and one of the most modern in this part of the world, but its development is hindered by the lack of sufficient depth. From it there are reliable and regular shipping container lines to all major world ports. The port has been rapidly growing, and in 2011, more than 17 million tons of cargo passed through it. It is the largest northern Adriatic port in terms of container transport. In 2011, almost 590,000 TEUs passed through it. There is a skewed balance in the direction of trade flows in the port of Koper, where import flows clearly outweigh export flows. The majority of maritime passenger traffic in Slovenia takes place in Koper, where a passenger terminal was completed in 2005. It has recorded about 100,000 passengers in 2011, and has been visited by the largest passenger ships, such as the MS Voyager of the Seas. The 2 smaller ports used for the international passenger transport are located in Izola and Piran. The port of Piran is also used for the international transport of salt, whereas the port of Izola is used for fish disembarkation. Passenger transport in Slovenia takes place mainly with Italy and Croatia. The only shipping company of Slovenia is Splošna plovba. It operates 28 ships with 1,025,000 tons of tonnage. It transports freight and is active only in foreign ports. Airports. The air transport in Slovenia is quite low, but has significantly grown since 1991. There are 3 international airports in Slovenia. The Ljubljana-Jos Putnik Airport in the central part of the country is by far the busiest, with connections to many major European destinations. Around 1.4 million passengers and 15,000 to 17,000 tons of cargo pass through it each year. The Maribor Edward Rajan Airport is located in the eastern part of the country, and the Portorož Airport in the western part. The state-owned Adria Airways is the largest Slovenian airline. Since 2003, several new carriers have entered the market, mainly low-cost airlines. The only Slovenian military airport is the Crkva Air Base near the Slovenia-Croatia border in the southwestern part of the country. There are also 12 public airports in Slovenia. Airports, 16. Airstrips, 44 airports, with paved runways. Total, over 3,047 meters, 2,438 to 3,047 meters, 1,524 to 2,437 meters, 914 to 1,523 meters, under 914 meters, 1 airports, with unpaved runways. Total, 1,524 to 2,437 meters, 914 to 1,523 meters, under 914 meters, 5.